So I said, well, why don't you come back to church? And he said, you know what? I'll think about it. But that Sunday, he showed up in church and he's been there ever since. And he told me that just by him coming back to church, it helped him out a lot mentally, because he said that he was kind of lost. Like I said, with us, we wherever we go, we like Jerry said, we try to give love, and it shows on stage because the people are out there, and the little kids, like I said, they're out there killing it, having a
Once a
ball.
day,
Just
when we meet a stranger, we should just say hello to them, basically.
Hey, she giving me a run for my money already. Like both of them beautiful though. So it's kind of like, yeah, I gotta keep a tight grip. That's why I stay sharp though. I stay sharp, stay in shape, stay close to God. He'll give me everything I need, all my weapons I need to be successful.
I love people. You know what I'm saying? I love people, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people nowadays, they say, oh, I don't love people. I love people, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a human being and my mom and my dad and my sisters, my brother, my friends, neighbors, you know what I'm saying? They are
Having a broken home, man, it was so sad, just looking back. And sometimes I get a little teary before, just trying to remember or trying to forget, I should say, what happened. But then I'm actually very thankful. Um, I found ways to like express myself in anger, like, but being in New York, I had so many bad influence friends that I would express it in a way I would commit like crimes, and I wasn't happy about it. And then I realized like what made me feel when I couldn't just hit a wall or have a fight or anything, I'd freaking dance my ass off, just to get aggression out, or I'll write poetry or think of a melody, or
What can Americans do who can't necessarily do anything or feel helpless in America right now to help out with this crisis overseas? And what can they do, in your words?
The innocent families in the Jewish nation surely need support. They have lost. There is a whole family that has been murdered. There are children whose parents have been killed or kidnapped. Those are areas of assistance. I'm pretty sure that there are international donation organizations out there that are, effectively soliciting resources to be channeled to the Jewish nation. Get involved. Israel is a friendly nation to us here in the United States. Those who see this in the bad light that it is and condemn it, there is something to do. It's not just to sympathize, but to make tangible contribution, both cash and also in intangible goods that can be directed through those donor organizations, including probably a direct message to your program.
You have 25 years of management and technical experiences. Is this experience how you started your company?
So I started my company. Simply Me was started in 2001, and prior to that, I had a company called Simply TV. And so Simply TV was a company that we started at the Empire State Building in Manhattan. We had about 2 floors. In the end, we had about close to 200 employees, and the main focus was to start the world's first online interactive television network. So the technology for it was actually developed in 1996, and then we launched it in 1997.
That's
So,
amazing. And in Manhattan too, and all of
yeah,
the things that happen over time with digital
yep.
and that kind of thing. Can you tell me about, do you believe that digital media is the way of the world, or is it more cable?
I think digital media is going in that direction because cable is trying to figure out a way to stay in business. So cable has no choice but to get on the bandwagon, which is what they're doing. What they've been doing, as a matter of fact, a lot of the companies they've actually increased their technical developments. As we know, Verizon is not really a media company. Verizon is a technology company, for instance. So they've really been on the cutting edge of a lot of technical things that they've been doing. Comcast, on the other hand, is a media company, but now they have a new division at Comcast, which is specifically focused on technology, creating apps, and making sure that customers that come their way can pretty much get a quality of service that's all in the digital domain. So yes, everything is going digital. Cable companies are going digital. They have no choice. If they get left behind, the only infrastructure that they have left are the cable lines that are outside.
And can we get a little bit into your Simply Me TV, your distribution side? Tell me about that a
Okay,
little bit,
so
what you do.
So on Simply Me, what we do here is we give companies the opportunity to express themselves, and that can be from the perspective of creating one channel on Comcast to creating a full network that goes nationwide over just about any platform they can think of. Recently, we got into the OTT space where we would just take their content, we would encode it, we would put it on what's called a CDN, basically, which is just another way of saying, it's a huge hard drive in the cloud world.
Are we sending to the world? Can you tell me, TPT, what's TPT and what messages do you want to send?
Well, TPT stands for trial, pain, and tribulation, and it's not name like that's not my name because that's what I'm about. It's because that's what I came from. You know what I'm saying? Like I overcame that to become who I am.
Yes.
So, and the message I put out is, life. Like we're gonna all go through things. Like if you listen to any of my songs, whether it's an upbeat song or a song like Controversy, like anything that comes out of my mouth is fact. Like I'm not one of those people that overhypes things. If I'm talking about it in a song, I lived it at a point. If I'm telling you about something, it's either to better us as a people, and I don't mean like just my people, like African Americans or Caucasians or Mexican Americans. I'm talking about us as a human people, as a race, the human race. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make music that kind of breaks down that wall we all have about certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make music that, you can play in any kind of club and, everybody can jam it. Everybody can feel it. If you listen to it, everyone can kind of relate to it.
Know that even I'll get the real stern. I'll take it from the really nice "how you doing" to like whoop, I'm nail stern, and I think I feel like I'm blessed because I think artists recognize that about us. It's like they know that we laugh, we joke, we have a great time with each other, but when it comes down to the business and making sure that you're doing it the right way, we have to take a totally different kind of attitude with it. It's like, listen, you can't continue to do this. We try to explain it. We give them a couple times, try to explain it. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then sometimes we have to remind them from time to time. We'll have to continue to remind them. But it's like he said, it's not, once you say something, once you really directly confront the issue, it does tend to, it ends. It slowly moves away. It does.
The thing is, people have to understand, especially when they're dealing with the three of us. We've been in the business more than a year, more than 5 years, more than 10 years, more than 20 years. Okay. So if we're telling you to do something, it's not like we're trying to do this to hurt you. We've been through some things, so we're trying to stop you from taking these pitfalls.
Now that's the big one.
According to the American Addiction Centers on Abuse and Violence paired with substance abuse, and some startling statistics, in 2016, alcohol caused approximately 90,000 domestic violence deaths worldwide. Alcohol or drugs is involved in 40 to 60%.
And then I said, and so if I've been on the TED stage, do I know how to speak? Probably pretty well. Written 3 books, I probably know how to write. And so at one point I was awarded as the best teacher of the year. And at the end of the semester, I was told I didn't know how to teach. I'm like, well, kind of interesting. If you look at the platform out there, I've received over 40 awards in the last, 6 months and so on and so forth. And you can do one thing, you can take it personally and you can try and go after people legally. But, I was asked the question, do you want to spend all your life savings going after this thing to prove that you're right? Or is there something else? And, listening to that inner voice, one day I just decided from nowhere, and I could tell you before this ever happened, I'd say, I'm not an artist. I can't draw. I can't paint. I said, let's get out a paintbrush.
Is true with heavy metal and performances. You have to compose together and work together. Does the band get along?
So I like to tell people it's a marriage, which, sounds weird because there's 6 of us involved, but it is a marriage. So in a marriage, do you always get along with your partner? No. We spend a lot of time together. And when you create together and build together, there's obviously differences. There are days where they probably want to fire me and toss me over a bridge, but they can't. And it's just the way it goes. It doesn't mean that we don't get along. It just means that we're very opinionated. We wouldn't be any different with each other than we would be with our own music. So we don't bow down in our music. We're not going to bow down to each other.